Hello world, Richard Hagen tweeted, "I love @delicious steak. Seriously, he could make a 4-minute video about a bowl of spaghetti and it would be the most interesting thing." This is a bowl of spaghetti. I can make it jump cut just like I do from take to take. Although that might get kind of old and I might get kind of hungry, so I might just go back to the normal shot and start eating the bowl of spaghetti as I talk about it. Nah, but when you set out to vlog, there are infinite potential vlog topics and you can be paralyzed by those possibilities. Often the hardest part about vlogging is figuring out what you want to vlog about. And so in a sense, Richard, you have done the hardest part for me. The question is no longer, what should I vlog about and how can I turn that into a somewhat profound point? The question is now, how can I turn spaghetti into a somewhat profound point? That's a much simpler question. But on the other hand, in saying, and it would be the most interesting thing, there's a lot, this pressure. What if it's not the most interesting thing? I mean, what kind of a sick failure of a human being sets out to make a bowl of spaghetti interesting and then fails to make that bowl of spaghetti interesting? But no, I think you're right. I think I can make a bowl of spaghetti interesting. That's why I'm doing this. So much of my last year on YouTube has been, me chasing my tail, trying to figure out what this thing is, what my relationship to my audience is. I mean, this whole YouTube thing started for me when I was just 17 years old. And I'm only 21 years old now. That's just a difference of 4 years. But those are 4 very formative years. Who I am at 21 and who I was at 17. I mean, very, very different people. So at a certain point, I was like, I'm kind of sick of this whole vlogging thing. I want to do something more profound, more serious. I want to mobilize my audience and use new media to its fullest potential. And so I did Dan 3.0. That was I guess the nice way to put it would be a learning experience. But when that whole thing ended, it was kind of just like, what now? I kind of abandoned the whole vlogging thing. I haven't been vlogging for a year, and yet that's kind of what it feels natural. And I think that whole, what now mindset has been very apparent over the last year. I've been really struggling to figure out what to do with my audience. But the fact of the matter is that despite all of the loop-de-loops and inconsistent bullshit I've put you guys through over the last couple of years, and even though the numbers have, kind of ebbed and flowed, there's always been a core audience of a good, few tens of thousands of people. And why is the question that I've had, which brings us back to spaghetti. In Richard's tweet, why did he reference spaghetti specifically and not, for example, I don't know, a quesadilla or a pot roast or something? I don't know for sure, but my best guess is that he was either having a bowl of spaghetti when he wrote that tweet or had recently had a bowl of spaghetti or could see someone who was having a bowl of spaghetti when he was writing that tweet. As it happens, I eat spaghetti about 3 or 4 nights a week, and I would assume that young men in their 20s in America and around the world probably eat a disproportionate amount of spaghetti because it's a hot meal that's really easy to make, but it's still somewhat satisfying, to know that you made your own meal. For people who are on their own for the first time and don't really know how to cook yet, it's great. It just makes sense. We eat a lot of spaghetti. Spaghetti is something that I have in common with you guys, and as such it serves as a wonderful metaphor for why I still have you guys in spite of all of my inconsistencies and idiosyncrasies. It's taken me a long time to figure out why you're still there, or even why you are there in the first place, but what I'm starting to figure out is that it's not because of any one specific thing that I do. It's not because I jump cut all around or play chess or say, hey world, it's just because we have this strange sort of rapport. I'm this quasi role model friend person whose mistakes you can learn from because, the shit that you're going through in your life is the same basic shit that I'm going through in my life. And, one of those shits that we're going through right now is spaghetti. Let's play chess. Boy, we gotta protect the bishop, gotta keep it safe. Alright, there we go. If you like what you just saw, if Dan put you in a state of awe, subscribe to him and click the orange button. It really means something. If you do that, that'd be really cool.